Hi, and welcome back to Mighty Little Green Machine. Today we're going to be doing a little maintenance on the equipment. We're going to be cleaning it up and talking about also how I did on my first side job. I completed my first side job yesterday, and we'll talk about if I did it right, how it came out, and clean up the tractor from doing all that work. So let's get started. So yesterday I completed my first side job. I showed you a video where I had done the estimate and got the job. And I just wanted to kind of recap how it went and if my estimate was on target or not, and if I made any money. So if you remember, I had to widen out a path that they used to go from their shed in the back up the hill to the street and then out so they can mow their lawn on their riding mower. It had become overgrown and washed out. I'd also had to take care of a drainage problem. There was literally pretty much a ditch that had washed itself out coming from the road down to the woods. In some spots it was as deep as 9 or 10 inches, just from Mother Nature. Then I had to level that road out and then spread material, which I used a 3/4 inch stone with a knit pack in it, so it packed down so it'll still drain, but it also will pack good and hopefully hold it up. So I had I'd estimated that it would be 2 hours to install the drainage. When I actually did the drainage, it took me just under an hour to get it done. That included unloading the tractor, getting set up, and also moving cameras and stuff to record it. Then, so I did well on that. I came out about an hour ahead. So what I did was I trenched from the woods up to the street. I laid some crushed stone down in there. Then I laid in a 4-inch drainage pipe, and then backfilled all that with the crushed stone so that it has a channel now to follow from the road down into the woods. So hopefully that diverts that water and keeps it from washing out the road anymore. So I actually did that Friday night. I brought my equipment down. I was going to drop it off. I said, well, let me get started. So I was able to get that done Friday night. So when I got there Saturday morning, I already had that done. Now, as I told you, this job was on my street. So what I did was, after I dug the drainage ditch Friday night, I drove up to my house, dropped the backhoe off, and then drove back down and threw the 3-point hitch on so that I was in a little better spot starting the next morning. When I got down there Saturday morning, I put the rototiller on. Now, I had quoted 2 hours to rototill. Turns out that was way too much. Way too much. It took me, including putting the rototiller on, probably about 15 or 20 minutes to do the rototilling. Again, I am super impressed with that Frontier 3049 rototiller. It just does an amazing job. Didn't even know it was behind the tractor. So that worked out well. So now I'm ahead by 2 hours and 45 minutes. Then I figured another 3 hours to level it. That probably took me about a half an hour. It went a lot quicker than I thought. After I rototilled it, it leveled itself out pretty good. I used the landscape rake to kind of just pull it even, and that was done. And again, after I finished with the rototiller, I drove up to my house and dropped it off. Then I came back down and put the rake on. And then when I finished raking, I drove that back up to my house and dropped that off and put my weight bracket on with my weight so that it was it was a real tight area I was working in. And I was actually in the bushes a lot. So I put the weight bracket on because that's got such a small footprint on the back of the tractor. It gave me more room to move. I did have to cut some branches off because I finally got tired of getting my face beat in by branches. So then I went down and I spread the crushed stone. I leveled it. I did a little bit of hand raking to clean it up. And then after I was done with everything, I loaded the tractor and I took my backpack blower and blew all the debris off the street. That's where we dumped the material. All in, it took me 5 hours. So I was really pleased with the result. I ended up, like I said, I charged 10 hours. It only took me 5, so I did well on this job. As a first job, I'm pretty pleased. It also taught me, though, a little more about estimating. And I think as you do each job and you kind of get an idea how long things take, you'll become more and more accurate with your estimates. But this covered, so if you watched my video on loading the trailer, that took me an hour and a half. So I was able to cover that time. And then another 2 hours to unload the trailer and wash everything, clean it all off. So all that time was covered. So I'm real pleased with the way the first job turned out. I don't have any jobs coming up this week, but I actually have 2 booked for the following week. A Thursday, Friday. I'm going to take a couple of vacation days, and then I have a Saturday job. At this point, after doing this first one, I think I can probably complete the second one in a day. And then the third one, I only quoted a day. But I'm feeling real comfortable at the third one now, knowing how quickly it goes with the rototiller and stuff. So, first job, total success. Absolutely pleased. Fortunately, nothing went wrong. The customer was very, very happy with the results. It came out better than they thought it would. So, which also makes me happy. So I'm looking forward now to doing my second job. Okay, so let's now run through the finished product. This first picture shows you where that gully used to be that had been worn out by the rain, and there was about a 2-inch drop off from the pavement down to what was the existing path. So you can see we brought it up even with the road, and made it so it's I think it's about 6 feet wide now, which I had told him I was going to do 60 inches, so it's a little bit bigger than I had thought. Then as we come down, this next picture shows you where I brought the drainage pipe out. So that runs up from just below the road down here, and it comes out right into the woods so that the water can flow right through underneath and doesn't wash it out. Now as we come around the corner, you can see that it's nice and wide, nice and clean. There's plenty of room to get down here. And as we keep coming down farther, you can see where it tapers or starts to taper out to get bigger to connect to the shed. And then once we get down to the shed, you can see here where I kind of kept it nice and level with the ramp. I tried to keep a good slope going so the water would run off still. But that kind of did that. And then as we turn around and look back up at the entire project, you can see that I'm pretty happy with the way the edges came out. Now keep in mind that the right side, she's going to be putting a retaining wall in here. So that'll eventually be a nice cut line, which will look even better. I did tell her that when she's ready to do that, I'll bring the tractor down and just kind of cut her an edge, so it's easier for her to put the retaining wall in. That's something she wants to do on her own, the retaining wall. So overall, very happy with the project. It came out really, really good. I was really pleased. The customer was really pleased. I would not hesitate to take on a job like this again. Okay, so now that we've talked about my side job, hopefully you've noticed in the background during this whole video me washing all of my different pieces of equipment that I use to do this job. I am a stickler for cleaning everything that I own. I like to take good care of it. We pay a lot of money for these machines and these implements, so every time that I'm done with them, I do wash them, clean them, and put them away clean. I think it prolongs the life. It definitely keeps them looking better. It makes them hold their value better. And it really doesn't take all that long. I do take a lot of pride in having my things look nice. So I do spend not a lot of time, but I do spend time keeping them clean. It's not that much work. So I washed each implement. The rototiller I found has some crevices that really hold mud. I had to work really hard to get it out, and to me, that's a point that'll rot out eventually. So I'm glad that I did all that and washed it. Now, if I'm going to be using the tractor and the equipment again the next day or in 2 days, I don't wash it then. I wait till it's going to be down for a while. I don't really need the tractor now for another week. So that's why I cleaned everything, including the tractor itself, and then put it away. And before I do my next job, because I've now hit 15 hours on the tractor, I'll be doing some maintenance, retorquing the lug nuts, checking the tire pressures, greasing the tractor and backhoe to make sure that it stays nice, checking all the fluids, just staying on top of it. It doesn't take very long, but it does a couple of things. It helps to prevent a breakdown. It helps to protect your equipment and cause it to have physical damage. And it helps to keep it working in tip-top new condition. We all like the way our tractors perform when they're brand new. So we want to make sure we do everything we can to keep them performing that way. So that's all I have for this video. Thank you for watching. I will be posting probably in 2 or 3 segments the video of me doing that whole job. It's a lot of video. I'm trying to put it all together. I actually tried something different and used 2 different cameras. It's the first time I've done that. So I'm trying to compile all that, but that'll be coming out soon. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you on the next video.